Hello everyone, I'm Ankit Raj Pathak from ZERON and I'm going to be the pilot for today's event. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone and welcome everyone in this new episode of Fire Chat. I hope everyone is doing great this afternoon. So, today we have with us the product geek of our organization, and he will help us understand as well as share his experience on the agenda we have today. This is decoding cloud posture management. Uh, Please join me as I welcome Aitur Malik, product analyst at Zeron. Hi Aitur, how are you? I guess you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, Ankit.
Hi
Thank you,
Aitur, how
Ankit.
are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you, Ankit, for the warm welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm really honored to be here today. Cloud security posture management is a big deal in today's tech world, and I'm excited to talk about it with all of you. Think of cloud security is like being the guardian of our digital space, making sure everything is safe and secure. Today, we'll dig into how companies handle their cloud security, what works, what doesn't, and why it matters to all of us. I won't get too deep into technical jargon. Instead, we'll break down things like rules, regulation, and strategies in a way that's easy to understand. And again, thank you, Ankit. Let's start the chat and throw the question to me.
Sure, sure, great. So let us get straight to the agenda, right? To start this discussion, Aitur, can you give an overview of the current state of the cloud security postures in the industry, and also highlighting any prevalent changes or concerns that can be identified. So if you can give me a brief overview of the current state.
Yes, Ankit, of course. So, a lot of companies experienced a public cloud security breach due to misconfiguration in the past year. Lack of expertise and visibility contributes to this challenge. Next point will be organization faces difficulties in mitigating my misconfiguration vulnerabilities. Only 56% can detect misconfiguration in less than a day, and only 37% can remediate within the same time frame. Can you get the specific number? That is 57 and 37. Those are
Mhm.
pretty less, I would say. Next person, I would say the 70% of organization reports a lack of alignment among cloud security, IT operations, and developer teams regarding security policies and enforcement strategies. So, in organizations, there are lots of policies, but if
Correct.
you publish a policy and that is all the team is not aware or not aligned with that policy, then again there is a gap, and that will cause you
Sure.
any
Yeah.
security breach or any security concern.
Correct.
Next point will be the yeah, next one is the common cloud threats. There are some points I want to highlight. One is unauthorized access, insecure interface or API, hijacking of account, lack of visibility, external sharing of data, malicious insiders, and cyber attack pose significant threat to cloud security. Those points, I would say, like that's a major risk of threat for any organization, though who keeps their data into cloud.
Absolutely.
Key concerning includes data loss or leakage, data privacy confidentiality, accidental exposure of credential, incident response effectiveness, legal and regulatory compliance, and data resilience. While the cloud facilitates easy data sharing, it introduces challenges such as accidental exposure of data. It's due to link-based sharing, raising concern about data loss and unauthorized access. So, like right now, you can, I just asked you about share some insight or share some data with me. You just
Mhm.
created a link and share it with me. That causes like lots of problems. You
Correct.
can manage the access right of that specific link in
Mhm.
such a way that I only can access that specific data. If that the link shared to someone else, they can't access the data. So those, I would say, primitive measures everyone in the organization must take.
Sure.
I just there was an incident like sharing some Google Docs or Microsoft Docs. So in
Mhm.
that from that point we can take care of those points, like
Correct.
whenever sharing some data, uh, minimize the access level.
Mm-hmm.
Malicious
Got it.
insiders in the cloud. Detection of malicious insiders in more challenging in the cloud due to limited visibility and control over underlying infrastructure, making traditional security solution less effective. So it is not normal traditional security solution can detect.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it can detect, but we need more advanced security solution to detect those malicious insiders in the cloud. Cyber attack, cloud-based cloud-based infrastructure accessible from public internet. Most of the time, I would say it
Mm-hmm.
is a common target for cyber criminals. It the potential of repeated successful attack rates concern about data security. You can go through your LinkedIn newsfeed right now. You can get there are lots of cyber attacks, cyber incidents regarding cloud. So the attacker attractiveness of a cloud system is higher than a on-prem or hybrid system. So
Right.
yeah, that's a challenge for right now organization.
Mm-hmm.
Legal and regulatory compliance, moving data protected by regulations to the cloud poses challenges in demonstrating and ensuring compliance, with 42% organization considering it is a major concern. Uh, the data in the cloud, there are different type of data. The data in rest, data in transition, and data in process. So maintain the compliances in three stages. That's a really painful job for organization to maintain right now.
Right. Correct.
And the last but not the least, I would say the location of data store,
Mm-hmm.
where you are storing your data. That in geographical concern, I would say like you do you have knowledge about where you're storing the data, where you're processing the data. That key factors uh, may causes a lot of monetary risk, I would say, in term of regulatory compliance or in term of anything like in a term of cyber attack also. Those are the only point that answers your question, I think.
Correct. Absolutely, it did. Tur, I mean, this will surely give everyone a clarity as a starter and such a detailed answer to a question. I guess it is very necessary for everyone to know where to store data and like how to keep ourselves safe. To be very honest. Also, meanwhile, when we dive in this discussion, I would also want our viewers to drop their questions below, and we will surely take them in the later half of the event. Also coming back, I thought I recall that you were speaking something about awareness that we have to adhere. My next question would be around it. How do organizations typically ensure awareness in their compliance, right? Like the status with regulatory security policies in the cloud environment, and what would be the common approaches to like how can they address this concern?
Yes. Okay. The regulatory checks and assessments to make sure you are following the right laws and rules for keeping data private and secure in the cloud. The point I want to highlight here is compliance is not a measurement mean of how secure you are. Uh, this is the measurement how are handling the data, how are handling your customer data, how you are encrypting your data, where you are storing the data. Regulatory
Mhm.
mandate is all about that. Implement a comprehensive cloud compliance framework that encompasses the requirement of industry-specific regulations such as PCI DSS for secure payment transaction and HIPAA for healthcare data. Shared responsibility model. I will come to the next one, that is the shared responsibility model. So whenever you are dealing with any cloud platform, a cloud service, remember the shared responsibility model. The provider secures the basic data structure, but it's up to you to ensure your data stays safe and compliant. That's the shared responsibility. Your provider, cloud security provider, doesn't ensure that your data is safe and secure. There are some parts that dealt with your data, and you must keep those security controls in places to make your data secure and safe. Next point would be the incident response planning. In compliances framework, you can get there are lots of points, controls, requirements. The incident response planning is one of the major points in those. Or A major point in common in those among those frameworks and mandates. Develop and maintain a robust incident response plan to address any security breach promptly, minimizing the impact of data integrity and ensure compliance with reporting requirements. Next point will be the continuous monitoring and visibility. In cloud era, all of the organization just check for a monetary tool that uh, keep the organization employee up to date about any downtime or anything. But there are also more points than downtime. It is also about the security of the organization. Crafts and keep solid incident response plan in place to swiftly tackle any security breaches. Minimizing the hit on data integrity and making sure we meet the reporting rules. Next will be the human. Next point will be around the humans. I know,
Correct.
like humans are the weakest link in the cybersecurity. So to train them, you must conduct regular training session to enhance employee awareness to compliance requirements, highlight their role in maintaining a secure cloud environment and the potential consequences of non-compliance is mandatory for any organization. And next will be the vendor management. So there are lots of organizations who took up vendors to manage their cloud infrastructure.
Mhm.
Conduct comprehensive vendor management and due diligence procedure, making sure that cloud service provider follows secure and compliant standard. Also regularly receive and updates contractual agreement. You must make contractual agreement. That is the first
Correct.
point. If you miss that, then I would say right now do that thing. Like right now, make a contractual agreement and then review and update those contractual agreement periodically. Next will be the integrate industry-based practices for cloud security into the organization policy and procedure, aligning with evolving regulatory requirements and technology advancement. Next will be the conduct proactive risk assessment, identify potential vulnerabilities in area of non-compliance, enable proactive corrective measures before problem escalate. Yeah, that's it. I think that answers your question.
Absolutely, Atul. So, like to conclude all your points, I guess those points were totally diving towards what risks can an organization face if they don't adhere to the points. So, I would like to ask you a question around that. How can cyber security posture management strategize effectively? Like, how can we enhance risks in an SaaS-based like cloud computing product? Also, how can we promote like reducing risks, improve risk team effectiveness, solution manageability, or like tell me as an overall security, how can we like take an effective measures?
Yeah. So let me clear it out. Like you want to know about the CSPM strategy effectively
Correct,
enhance cyber risk assessment in SaaS or cloud computing, promoting risk reduction, those points, right?
correct, correct,
Related to
correct,
SaaS in cloud computing, right?
correct, correct.
So yes, yeah. So there is one model that is called cloud octagon model. It's the holistic approach to assessing risk in SaaS cloud computing. It
Mhm,
covers crucial aspects like IT governance, architecture, development, risk processes, and data classification. The model offers practical guidance to all involved parties, ensuring flexibility in adapting to changing privacy law, data protection regulations, and technologies advancement. Its main goal includes reducing risk, improving efficiency of the cloud risk
mhm.
or cloud risk team, enhancing the solution manageability, and reinforcing security measures. So if you incorporate those type of model in your organization, that would help for assessing the risk, managing the risk depending upon related to any cloud uh, service provider or anything like that's
Correct,
in cloud.
correct. So we have two questions actually around CSPM as well. Soham asks that what metrics or KPIs that an organization should look for while choosing a CSPM tool?
Yes, of course. So there are some metrics and KPI at first I would say does that system tool supports multi-cloud architecture? Does that system tool have different points uh, multiple framework support? Does the CSPM tool can able to get uh, accomplished with your organization structure? I would say
Correct.
means you have different business units, you have different product that have different type of compliances may follow. You may follow PCI data compliance, some other product may follow IPA compliance. Uh, does your CSPM tool cater to those all those compliant framework or not? So those small points related to different business, they have different points that they are. Depending those points, you can choose a CSPM tool that's based out of it. Yeah, I think that's answer from your question.
I guess Soham should have should get the answer to that from this. And we have a question from Sihanja. So he says, how, in your opinion, is cloud posture management impacted by the new data privacy laws in India? Good
Yes,
question.
of
Yes.
course. Yeah, the CSPM tool would able to help you in that part. Uh, New DPDP Act, if you know the controls about the specific DPDP Act, you'll be able to see there are different controls that related to how you process your data, how where you're storing your data, and uh, how you are from which part, is the data encrypted when it is transit?
Yes.
Those
Correct.
specific KPIs, yeah, those
Mhm.
specific KPIs can be mapped with a specific control ID or be mapped with your policies. So yes, if your CSPM tool allows it to get to the mapping of the policies and mapping of the evidences, and yeah, that would help to make the organization secure, and also that would help to get the compliance certificate for your cloud environment. I think that would help uh,
Yeah.
you answer your question.
So I have one more question around
Yes,
CSPM. It's from Soham again. He says, how do
yes.
you see the evolution of CSPM tools and practices in response to changing cyber threats?
Yes, I would say that right now CSPM tools are pretty great in the market, but there are some key points in cyber security. One is how you are maintaining your risk, how you are managing your compliances. If a CSPM tool or something like that can help me out with my compliances, can help me out prioritize my risk, can help me out prioritize my misconfigures and vulnerabilities, that would be great, on that will be the uh, new era for CSPM, I would say,
Correct.
when it is solving the problem automatically. Basically, right now, some of the tools can mitigate the risk of your cloud
Mhm.
environment automatically. But when it comes to compliances, you found out some risk, you prioritize those. Then after prioritization, you mitigate that specific risk. If that is totally automated in a specific point of time, yeah, CSTM tools going into that space where you can automate everything, and also you can get a value of those specific risks, I would say. Whenever you get the value, you can easily prioritize those risks. Yeah, I would say that would
Correct.
answer his question.
Of course, of course. Like, there's no doubt they call you the product geek
Yeah,
hyper. So, one more question from Soham. It is around CSPM, and we'll get to the next question. So he asks, to what extent do you leverage automation for CSPM, especially in terms of identifying and remediating security and misconfigurations?
uh, to what extent? I would say uh, like organizations and human don't have any limit. They can think beyond their limit. And
Sure.
automation right now in this world is beyond the limit. everyone loves LLM models, right? So everyone is using it. So I don't think in next couple of years the automation will be next level in CSPM around it.
Sure.
So you will just think about a situation. You just integrate your cloud. You choose a framework. It automatically fixes or warn you about the fixes. What you need to do to make it compliant for you, and you share the evidence with the compliance auditor. And that's it. Just the work of I'd say 10 second, 15 second, 20 second, whatever it is. If it is a work of half day, 6 hours, it is pretty much helpful. If automation can give me in the, up to that level, yeah, that is helpful for it, all organization, I would say.
So I guess the future is unpredictable, as you would like to say.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I think moving on to our next question that I have for you is, what are the common practices or strategies employed by teams to proactively identify and mitigate configurations, vulnerabilities in the cloud environment?
Securing a strong defense against cloud mismanagement requires a multi-dimensional approach. Regular security assessment, conduct routine security assessment of the cloud environment, proactively identify, rectify misconfiguration during cloud operation migration, address security risks promptly aligning with industry standards to ensure compliance. Next point will be the principle of least privilege. You know the keyword least privilege. If you do a hashtag, that will be the in the top of their LinkedIn, all over the LinkedIn, I would say.
I should note that. I should
Because
note that.
yeah. So implement the principle of least privilege across services, users, and applications. Restrict permission to the minimum necessary, minimize the potential impact of security incident, reduce the risk of overly permissive access by following the least privilege principle. As I already told you, whenever you are sharing some
Yes,
doc or so whatever it is, we just share the link. Don't do it in such a way. Do it in a way that uh, accessed by the person you want to send the specific information, not accessed by others, right? Security automation, yeah, utilize security automation tool for process and real-time detection and remediation of misconfiguration that the CSV tool does right now,
sure.
and streamline incident response effort, reducing and resource investment. And last but not the least, recognize human error as a potential threat to cloud security. Educate users and administrator about the cloud security best practices. Enhance awareness regarding the risks associated with misconfiguration, migrate social engineering and phishing risks through comprehensive user education. That is necessary
Got it.
for all the cybersecurity realm and all the cybersecurity aspects, I would say. Not only with the cloud, with your infrastructure, with your network security, everything is about the more, I would say, the most of the part is cyber literacy, the user education.
Mhm.
I think that would answer your
Got it.
questions.
Noted, noted, noted. So I thought, like, can you share, like, are there any specific strategies in place for preventing vulnerabilities from like being deployed in the first place? Particularly, I'm talking about like the continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, code repository and access restriction and auditing. That is the one thing that you should aware about the CI/CD pipeline security. And restrict access to code repository to prevent unauthorized changes. Encrypt keys and avoid using secrets in application code. That is the most common vulnerabilities we were able to find in this generation. So what happens like you can just put a key, access key, secret key, and you just push the code to GitHub, and all other members who are access to the specific repository uh, got to know the specific secret, and they can get into your cloud environment, whatever it want they want to do, they can do. You can put some code scanning practices, like whenever someone is pushing the code to GitHub, you must check if there are any uh, keys or any API keys or anything is there or not. You can check those things, and you can also do some code review practices. So that is necessary for all the applications, I would say, and maximize testing accuracy and coverage. And one more point that right now most of the organization doesn't care about the image scanning and repository auditing, not only the image.
Correct.
If your application is handling some resources like image, documentation, whatever it is,
Mhm.
and those you can assess using some tools, those scan through those documents and tells you if there are any malware or ransomware, whatever it is. You can go through, now you can check there, you can Google those tools name and you can implement those tools into your cloud with your cloud platform. And not last but not the least, the deployment strategy. So there is a specific term that we call the blue-green deployment. So blue-green deployment is to production environment to switch between old and new version. Canary deployment deploy updates in phases to a small number of users for testing. Recreate deployment involves downtime, replacing all the pods at once and for major updates. Rolling deployment gradually deploy pods with readiness probe to eliminate downtime. I think those strategies collectively enhance the security posture of CI/CD pipeline, mitigate the deployment of vulnerability, and ensuring secure software development lifecycle.
Got it, got it. So I'm just wondering how you actually explain so much of technicalities in such layman language. Uh, Having said so, I have one more question around CSPM. And the question is, what is your holistic perspective on cloud security? As CSPM mostly addresses cloud misconfigurations.
Uh, I would say the CSPM is not about the only misconfiguration.
Mhm.
So it also, a CSPM tool you choose, it also cater about the threats, means the security event that happens in your organization. If there's a security event like some storage server or some servers that running some business critical code got some updates or got some change or got some deleted operation happened in your organization, you must take care of those specific event, I would say, and you must uh, assess those events. Is there any security risk? Is there any security risk happening in those events? You must take care of your incident response plan. You must follow the
Correct,
incident response plan as soon as you got those events. That may be a normal security event, but you must take care of the small event because is it a risk for you or is it a just normal security event? You can the person that decides it is a risk or a normal security is you. So you must
correct.
assess those events and get to know like and process the next step like,
Sure.
according to your organization policies.
Correct, correct. I hope it answers this question. I do so. I would conclude with one last question. Uh,
Yes.
what do you think? How do organizations typically strike a balance between the imperative for security and the need for innovation velocity within a cloud environment?
Yes. So the new development or the new features that uh, do the let's get to the security. Yeah, there are some more points I would say. The comprehensive security framework to embrace a robust security system involving guidance, processes, and tools that address various security elements like user access, data safeguarding, incident response, and adherence to regulatory to regulation. And next point will be the risk assessment. Yeah, for security risk assessment, regular risk assessment, not the normal risk assessment. If you do
Correct.
a risk assessment within 5 years, that doesn't
Sure.
fix your problem.
It makes
If
sense.
you
Yeah.
do the risk assessment monthly, quarterly, depending upon your business need, that will be the very helpful for your organization. And clear policies and procedure, that will be the one point. establish clear policy and procedure governing cloud security and compliances. This includes guidance for incident management, data governance, and regulatory adherence. And the multi-cloud strategy. Yes, adopt multi-cloud strategy by leveraging public, private, hybrid cloud. This approach allows organizations to benefit from strength of each cloud environment while minimizing risks associated with a single platform. And last but not the least, the cyber literacy and training and education. Yes, that is the most vulnerable point for the security rules.
Correct, correct, correct. Arthur, I have two questions actually.
Yes.
Abhinav asks, what should be the frequency of testing of cloud services so that we can ensure the security?
Yeah, frequency, I would say that changes to product, organization to organization. You must assess the current state of your CSP or cloud security. I would say. You must assess the current state, then make a target like after 5 months, I want to reach that level of security, then uh, perform some plans according to that strategy or planning is needed, then execute the plan, and after that I would say reassess. If you are able to achieve, then make a next target that we improve ourselves. That's the goal or mystery. That's the key to reach the next level of security or next level of your own uh, I would say for your own development also. Every time you make a limit, break that limit, again, take a limit and then break the limit. That's it.
Rightly said. Ishan asks, if an organization's cloud data is leaked, how soon can you get to the root cause of it through your solutions?
Yes, if organization data is leaked, depending upon the organization strategy, how they maintain, because this is a part where ASM comes into the picture, the attack surface. That will be a separate topic because if you have a attack surface monitoring tool, that it will monitor through all of the attack surface of the organization and you scan through it, and it will let you know like if the data
Correct.
breach happened or whatever it is. If it's related to
Mhm.
the ransomware or anything, then the people who hack your organization who does that breach, he will let you know to get his ransom. So there are different
Yes,
aspect or different stories, I would say, different business, different type of situation where the timeline is different, and that would answer your question.
correct. I guess that was it. Um, we answered this question, right? What is the holy? Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes.
Yes, we did. So I think we should conclude. It was an amazing session, Arthur. Very analytical, very detailed, but in a very layman language. Thank you for like answering all the questions by me and by our viewers. We'll surely want to have another session like this with you. And thank you so much for giving your expertise in the topics that I asked.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my insight about the CSPN. Thank you. Nice to meet
Sure,
you,
sure,
everyone.
sure, sure, sure. Detailed and a very insightful discussion. Thank you everyone for tuning in with Zeron's um, like with this event of Zeron, and I would like to see everyone in our next event too. I would like to request everyone to please follow our socials and stay updated to it because we have something exciting coming up real soon, and you would not want to miss it actually. So that was it from my side. This is your host for today, Ankit, signing off, and see you guys really soon.